Surprisingly, the military issued a statement. We are not a military dictatorship. Now, wow. So, and this is written by Inibehe Effiong, the powerful lawyer from Akwa Ibom. The guy no one here, I'm telling you. The fact is that, first of all, the military has no business with the protest. It's a civilian government. That is true. Secondly, even the military is suffering. Some soldiers have come out to say they are selling their property in the barracks to eat because the salaries cannot feed them anymore. Not the salary cannot even pay transport of the soldier to go and visit his family and come back to his place of permanent assignment. That's how bad it is. So I tell you that the military is ready to join this protest. Some are going to remove their uniform and join the protest. You see it. Already the condition of service is very bad that a lot of them now are planning to resign and run away from the military. So, wow. Human rights attorney Inibehe Effiong vehemently disagreed with the military's stance regarding the planned protest in an interview with Arise News, stressing that the nation is not ruled by the military. So he maintained that it is improper for the military to become involved in a civil dispute in a democracy. Effiong emphasized that in accordance with the Police Act, the soldiers must stay in their barracks and let the police handle the demonstration. In addition, he emphasized the necessity of police protection for protesters, citing a legal decision in favor of this position. Inibehe Effiong claims the army surprisingly released a statement on the protest stating that we do not live in a military dictatorship. What business does the military have to make a statement on this? In a democracy, that is not acceptable. Let the military remain in the barracks. The police should be deployed in line with the provision of the Police Act to ensure that those who are protesting are protected, because the court has even made a pronouncement on this matter. Inibehe Effiong was quoted saying via Arise News. Now, wow. So what is happening here is that the military is saying that they are not in the military dictatorship means that they are not going to come and they are not going to be used. Okay? That is my interpretation. That is the way I see it. They will not be used by politicians to go and handle a civil situation, because riot or protest in the democratic system is a civil situation. It's a civil unrest that the police and the paramilitaries are meant to handle, and not the full military like the Army, Navy, and Air Force. So they should remain in the barrack, because Tinubu and his people brought out the army during the NSAS in Lagos and they caused problem. Wike brought out the army in Port Harcourt and went and killed almost everybody in Obigbo. Okay? So now this is, Nigerians are learning from that. And the barrack, the army should remain in their barrack. They shouldn't come out at all. That is not accepted at all. Okay? That is not accepted. That is not accepted. So now Inibehe is challenging the military in the first place. Whether what you said is right or wrong in your statement, why should you make statement at all in a military regime, and not that we are, I'm sorry, in a democratic dispensation, not that we are at war. We are not at war. Okay, you're not fighting any war with anybody. So why are you making a statement? That is the question now. So Inibehe has made a statement that the military should remain in the barracks, let the police deploy the police personnel to handle the protesters. And they are not to attack the protesters, they are to protect the protesters in line with the Police Act. Okay? So the police already has guidelines on how to handle civil unrest in this kind of situation. So they should follow that Police Act and forget about the military. That is it. But I tell you, Tinubu will deploy military. You will see military on the road. Unfortunately, some soldiers are also hungry and already crying out. So how are we going to handle that? Okay, some say the Nigerian military does not know their limitations. Teach them. Soldiers without ability and capacity to salvage Nigeria from political criminals called politicians. Exactly. These are because the duty of the soldier is to handle or intervene in a situation that the politicians are failing and are causing more problem than good. Okay, the military will step in and manage them. But unfortunately, the military has been bribed, the leaders, the generals have been bribed so much that now they are in support of the bad government. Why is the military always quick at surrendering their ethics and culture to the whims and caprices of the politician? It's because they have been impoverished as well. So politicians have stolen so much money, and through the politician, the military is also having access to the money. So even the generals are also thieves themselves. All the military budgets, what do they do with it? Go and check. As long as even if the military is engaged in a serious protest, they would succumb to the will of the masses. But here in Nigeria, a successful protest wouldn't work. Do we still have gallant soldiers? They are there. It's just that they have been impoverished. Only the generals. It's just like it's a slave camp. Nigerian military is a slave camp. Nigerian military is a slave camp. That is it. So already people are hungry, people are crying, people are hungry, people, even the military is already angry and crying. In fact, the way things are going, Tinubu should know that we cannot throw the military completely. While the generals are at the forefront talking what they have to talk to support the government, the ones that will do something like coup or do something that's contrary to the government are in the barracks, and those are lower ranks that are the people that will do exactly what people are expecting. So that is why sometimes when I look at the military, I still don't trust them completely. Because while the generals are out there trying to dissuade the people, the ones that will do the needful are back in the barracks planning whatever they are planning. So that is it. Inibehe has cautioned the military to keep calm. This is a democratic setting. They don't have any business coming out to speak, not to talk of taking action. And again, we should tell Tinubu to not to deploy soldiers, because soldiers have no business with civil unrest. It is the duty of the police, and we have guidelines and police act that should guide the police in managing the situation. Okay. But the question is, what if they bring out the military? What will Nigerians do? After all, in the SARS protest, they went and brought out the military from Bonny camp to cause problem. The military came out from Northern Barracks, from everywhere, and they came to Lekki Tollgate to fire and to shoot at innocent people. So, and I tell you, Buratai, who was then the chief of army staff, is moving freely now. Somebody that should be, in the international criminal court now, facing charges. Is moving freely because the government, the people in power, are using the military to achieve their aim, which is very, very bad. Very, very bad. So thank you for listening. Let's have your comment. If not, Inibehe has warned the military to stay clear and not even issue statement at all, because they have no business in democratic system.